Welcome to America. But yeah, so I actually employed maybe 30 people in making this film. Right now, for the MTV thing that I'm doing, I have 30 people. I'm about to start this business with the LA Times, in which I'm also going to be one of the employing people. If you have a journalism degree and you want to get a job, give me your resume. So we're posting jobs. But yeah, so that's the film. I'm sure you guys have some questions. The film is almost, we started filming 2011, and I think I said in the film I'm 32, I'm 34 now. So, tells you how long we filmed. But yeah, questions?
How many undocumented people would be here legally now with, say, 20-year plus backlog of documentation the process were expedited?
That's a great, I don't know. So my mom is right now on a 15-year waiting list to come here legally. There was that animation in the, kind of towards the middle of the film. Did you guys remember that when I explained why she can't come? We pack a lot in those. I have to say, by the way, that for me, the biggest success of this film is we now have high school teachers using it at school. So we build curriculum around the film. If you go to documentedthefilm.com, you can actually download our curriculum. We partnered with the Southern Poverty Law Center and I call it Social Studies Lollapalooza, like the National Council for the Social Studies. So we're piloting a curriculum because the film, you can cut it into pieces, right? Like I just found out 2 weeks ago that a police force in New York is using the scene where I talked to the drunken dude in Alabama to talk to cops about, isn't that interesting? To train cops to talk about immigration. They're showing that scene with the drunken dude. You know, when you make films, like you kind of hope that it has an afterlife, you know, that it goes, that it lives. So I'm just really probably most proud about the fact that we're building curriculum around it, because I specifically wanted to make a film that wasn't political. Right? I wanted to really make it a personal story that people can kind of follow, and then you can wrap all the other narrative around it, right? So the scene in Alabama, the scene of being in Iowa, where they're like, you know, go back to Mexico. Like, so you can, we've created modules so teachers can actually teach like 5 minutes at a time the film. So I'm really proud about that. So if you're an educator, please check it out.
I am an educator, an 8th grade teacher in the back of the Arts neighborhood in Chicago. And
God bless you.
We're in literature right now, we're studying historical narratives. And I just wondered how long you're in town for, because
oh.
I know I'm totally putting you on the spot, but if you ever have, if you have some free time, is there a way I could just connect with you?
Yeah, when you go to the website, there's actually a contact info there too. I have to say, like, you know, I made the film. Now I'm done. And this was a really hard film to make because the footage of my mom in the film, there's 10 hours of that where she just like spills her guts out on camera. And I remember when I first saw the footage, I was like, oh shit, you know, like I first thought, because can you imagine? I'm making a film about my own life, and I'm like editing my mom as I'm getting to know my mom on camera while she's talking to me. I mean, it's just like, it's so like meta in a lot of different ways, you know? And I was afraid that we cut the film. How many people here are filmmakers? So we edited the film 4 times, and each time I think I'm so indebted to my editor, who's a first-generation Haitian American woman, because she kept pushing me. She kept saying that I was playing it too safe, that I wasn't revealing too much. Like, I don't know if you remember in the film the scene when I find out that I don't qualify for the deferred action. So the first cut of the film, I find out that I don't qualify, and then it fades to black, and you see the president. You don't see me break down. I was like, I don't want to show you that, like, you know. And then the scene about Facebook, right? Like, I really went back and forth about, what do you mean you don't want to accept your mother as a friend on Facebook? And it sounds silly, but it tells you like the level of like what happens when you separate people, and like, you know, the film is not easy. It's a very, as a filmmaker and as a writer, I think I always gravitate towards the gray area, and I wanted to make a very gray film. I wanted to make a film full of ambiguities, right? In which, you know, I remember we did a screening at a festival, and the guy said, you know, I liked you in the beginning of the film, and then when your mom showed up, I really hated you. Why did you, he was like, why did you do that? And I'm like, because it said directed by Jose. Like, what, I'm going to make a film about how awesome I am? How stupid is that? You know, like, if you're going to make a film, you better go all the way or don't make it at all. You know, if you're going to make a film all about, it's so interesting too, because I had so many filmmaker friends who were like, you can't make this film about yourself. Because I guess they were afraid that I wouldn't be willing to go there. And I actually think that I don't think a filmmaker would have made a film as hard on me as I did. I think another filmmaker would have made it a little bit more, you know, like I just really wanted to make a messy film, emotionally, and I think we accomplished that.